Hola familia. I need a yappity yap. Let's have a yappity yap. I fucking hate my life. Ooh! I'm sorry, I do. Like, I love so much of it. There's so much I need to just cover, and I'm gonna emotionally dump right now, and you're gonna sit through it, and you're gonna deal with it. I hate my personality right now. Some days you just wake up and you love your personality, and other days you're like, what the fuck is this mess? Yeah, right now, this guy I'm DMing, he was like, how are you feeling today? And I was like, dead on the inside. How about you? And this is the thing. So I went to Junior's event recently in London, right? Oh my god. Great. It was so cool. Really fucking hot in there, but amazing. And he has this great leadership energy, and then there's guests, Sean works with him, Sean Hanif, and then they have these guests, they have Liana D, but I didn't know much about her story, but listen to her story, I was like, fucking cool. I love that. And then I found out she's younger than me, and sometimes, when you're inspired by people, and you're like, the fuck do you mean you're younger than me? What do you mean? How have you figured? Great. Another one. Anyway, no, she's amazing. I liked her story. Grace Beverly as well, iconic as always. I saw her with her belly walking on, and I'm thinking, I'm sweating here. This poor girl, she's incredible, but oh my god, she did that whilst pregnant. Do you know what I mean? Women are just impressive, and then you go and you throw pregnancy into the mix, and you're like, wow. I mean, hats off to her. And then they had some other people that I didn't know, but super interesting as well. And people have, this is the thing, right? This has been my recent struggle, as if I could, really say there's just one, but I can't decide if I love people or hate people. And it's really, I've been guilt tripping myself, and I feel like guilt ends up being a massive blocker in my life, and I think for a lot of people too, where you're like, shit, I shouldn't feel this way. How dare I feel this way? And actually, I've only just realized that as I say it out loud, how much I've been guilt tripping myself for looking or liking people. I work in customer service. Maybe I should leave it there. But I think what makes me sad is I feel like I'm grieving who I was, and I don't know how to get back to her. And I need therapy. I really need therapy. It is so overdue. And I'm in so much pain. And I hate it. I'll be happy, I'll be okay. And not just happy, a little, I'll be, feeling like I'm gonna be fine. And I work so hard to pick myself up. But I feel like I'm barely breathing, and I've been feeling that way for months. And the sun is outside, and it's beautiful. But it's hard. It's really hard. And I feel like I exist in this space of denial where, you just have to carry on. And so I kind of switch off my emotions like a vampire. I'm living on my DVD fantasies. I switch them off to function, and I say you have to do the work anyway. But at the same time, I feel like I'm dying. And I know it sounds dramatic, but I feel like it's one of those things you only understand if you've been there. And it's so terrifying, but it's equally empowering knowing that you can change things. And so I wake up every day and I keep asking what I can do. But social media is so damaging because you go there and you see the best of people, right? A lot of the time you see the people, that's my meal prep beef today. You see the people that are exceptional at what they do, that didn't make the mistakes that you made. And they're figuring it out. They picked a lane, and then you see yourself and your life, and you see every moment from when you wake up to when you go to sleep, and you're like, this isn't it. And not being able to articulate yourself is hard. So yeah, in terms of people, I think there's a part of it where I'm pushing people away because I don't want them to see me. I want to be seen. It's just, I feel like both. I feel like, see me. I'm cool. I've got art, creativity I want to express through, it's my Instagram. You can see, I have, a vision that comes to mind, and I want that there. It's, little bite-sized creations, my Instagram posts, right? But at the same time, I'm no, stay away. And I don't know why. And then I realized the other day, maybe I'm just a massive fucking introvert, and I just need to own it. I have certain skills that allow me to talk with people, but I'm just exhausted. I'm just tired. you know, I can't keep up. Like, I want to love everyone, and I do on a human level, I do. But then you have all this trauma as well, right? And this is not me saying, oh, because of trauma I act in a bad way. I don't. I want you to know, because this is important, and I think this is something someone should take with them. But like, I'm going to say this as nicely as possible. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't give you the excuse to treat other people poorly. Like, you might hate someone's, like, you don't want to, like, especially being in customer service, sometimes you're like, I don't want to deal with anyone. Not at all. And it's not nothing to do with them, really. It could have something to do with customers, because sometimes they can be interesting. But, you know, for the most part, like, they're fine. They're just, everyone's a fucking person. Like, I just feel so conflicted in my head a lot of the time. But what I'm trying to say with this point is, like, you can be going through shit, but it doesn't give you the excuse to not treat somebody well, and not be professional, you know, in that sense. So yeah, so I'm really proud of the fact that I still somehow show up to my job, and I'm good to people, like, and you know, I've been shaming myself as well for like not being able to be high energy. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm crying so much. Yeah, maybe I really need this conversation. I really need therapy. Maybe we should go sit in my dad's garden. Oh, you know, I would, but then we've got like cameras. I don't want my family to hear this. I've been shaming myself for not being able to work like other people. And, you know, there's this whole thing of like how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know, it's not your dream job. Max it out anyway, and then take those skills and apply it to the thing that you do love, right? And it's not that I disagree with that, but I think there's a part to it where it's like, hey, you know, when you're just so out of alignment that you can't give it your everything. And I just started to really doubt myself, you know, what I'm capable of, and it hurts because you're like, shit, you know, you just wonder if you're worthy of anything. Oh god, sorry. I mean, you know what, I'm here embarrassing myself like this. First of all, I just need to talk somewhere about all my problems and feel like I'm not a burden, or like, and my friends are amazing, but I would still feel like, you know what, if I just list out shit, I don't feel like it's fair to them. And here, I mean, this is kind of, you know, if someone wants to click off, they can click off. My poor friend would just be stuck on the call with me. I should go in a bit to get ready for work. I made a lot of choices, you know, and they haven't always been the right ones. And that's okay. I'm human. But now I'm sitting, you know, I'm laying in the bed that I made. And I cannot, you know, you can't complain. You just have to be like, okay, if you don't like the bed, then let's build a new one. But it's that building of a new one where you don't have that much guidance. You also can't afford certain guidance. You're just like looking at all these people online with different advice. You're like, okay, maybe there's like a commonality, or like there's something that I can, you know, and then it's like, which opportunity do I leverage? You know, and there is obviously that thing of like pouring into something and doing the reps and your inputs, and then, you know, not having success come for a long time. But it's like, what do you bet on? What's the right thing? And in some ways I feel in life there's not really the perfect choice. There's no like one thing, but it's what you make of it as well. But there is such a thing as, you know, I think choosing the highest leverage opportunity, or the best opportunity for you. Yeah, I feel pretty alone in this game sometimes, you know. Not because of my friends or anything, you know. Just yeah. the introversion extroversion thing is definitely something I've been grappling with, because I love conversations and I love getting to understand the heart of a person, you know, what makes them them and why they function the way they do, and you know, that's why I study psychology. But at the same time, I feel like I exist to perform, which I know sounds weird, but I don't exist to operate with others. I don't know what that is. It's not me being above anybody. I just feel like I'm meant to be unknown as well. Like I'm meant to, and maybe it's a childhood thing, I don't know. But I feel like people are meant to be able to relate when I speak and when I open my mouth. People should be able to relate to me, but they should never be able to be there for me in some ways. So I have to maintain a level of distance because I operate with this responsibility to have it together for them. Maybe that's what's exhausting. I also feel, though, to some level, it's also my art and my thoughts, my conclusions that I draw about different things. That could just be introversion, you know, needing space to ruminate. Well, not ruminate, but like think, you know. I don't tend to process out loud, really, besides this. Yeah, I think there's a few things. I don't want to live at home anymore. That's a big one. I love my family so much, and I know they love me. But I think who I am is just incompatible with what I should be, and I feel really bad. But I just don't think I'm very good at meeting people's expectations. So I don't want to disappoint people, and I don't think people want to be disappointed by me. Say people, my parents, and also just Asian community, family. I think maybe in some ways my values are different to my family's, to my parents. And in itself, as a fact, it's okay. I know that. Doesn't mean we can't get along, but I think when you're living in a place that requires you to abide by certain things that are an expression of certain values, you can feel suffocated. And that tends to be a bit of a theme. I'm really sorry, I feel like I'm not expressing myself well enough. And this feels like a messy diary entry that I'll just shove into my hard drive and forget about as if it couldn't help someone. But maybe it could. So if you're watching, then I thank you for your patience. I want to make them proud, but I can't do it in the way they want me to. And I don't live for that. Suffocation thing. My day job is so beautiful in so many ways. My colleagues are a huge part of it. I would say they're like 80% of what makes it worth it for me. I met some amazing people, had some amazing conversations, majority of which I've forgotten about because my brain is like a sieve. I'm really sorry, it's not personal, it's just me. To be fair, you know what, actually, maybe 70, and then the 10, 15 would be like the actual structure of the company, you know, like I've worked a few jobs and this is the first place where there's a formality in the fact that, hey, if you're not happy, or like if, you know, there's the flexibility, people actually give a damn about your well-being. If something occurs, there's a system in place for you to be taken care of. Like there are things I will not take that for granted. And when I say negative stuff about this and my being in this job, it's not to do with any of that. And the other 15, by the way, is the perks. Some perks to the job, for sure. I cannot deny that. And actually, I can't fit this into the pie, but like, you know, the community, the sense of community, and like, I get to interact with people from all walks of life, and if I left, I would miss all of these things. So I feel very split on what to do, you know. But I feel that I have to be for the company, and I'm sure many people understand. They're like, well, that's professionalism, Mahika. We can't have it. Da 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 da. Shut up. You're not built like me. You don't know what I'm talking about. It's not that I don't do it. When I'm there, I'm going to speak on behalf of the company. I perform in a way that the company would like. It's not like that, but it makes me miserable, is what I'm trying to say. Not being able to operate as Mahika for Mahika and the values that I have. And don't get me wrong, there are, you know, when a company has values, it can ask you to step up to be a better version of yourself. And I think that it has done that in some ways, which has allowed me to be more confident in myself, or what I already had within me, but I just needed an excuse to express it. This company allows me to bring the best of myself. Like, I feel like there's more of a reward in me being naturally who I am with my softer skills, because it's customer service facing, and also working with such amazing people, right? But just being Mahika for Mahika, you know. And maybe it's one of those things, grass is greener. Maybe once I move out, then I won't feel as restricted at work, because I won't have to constantly feel like I'm having to be for other people. And I think this is something that affects me more than it affects other people. I think other people are able to just do things for other people. Sometimes I wish I was that generous. I don't think I can be. But when I say that, you know, again, I was feeling shame around that, because it was like all these incredible people as well, like these leaders, and, you know, like, for example, June, like, he was on this mission to, like, succeed for his family, so he went through such a difficult stuff. There are other people out there, and, you know, they go and they do the degree for their family, and I'm like, why couldn't I do that? Why was I not that good? I don't know. But then I look at how I love, and how true my love is, and how sincere I can truly love someone. I think that's part of it too. You can see the therapy is really overdue. I see that in me. And so I know that when I really commit like that, I forgot what I was saying, then it comes from a place not of duty, but of wantingness. You know, I'm there because I want to be. If I didn't want to be, I wouldn't be there. Like, it's that feeling. If I'm all in, I'm all in, and I mean it. What was I talking about? I try to hear my intuition through all of it, and it's just, I can't find it. I find sometimes, even when I talk to people, especially outside of work, I almost try to express my negativity, I almost try to express my cynicism and my misery, because I don't want to let them in. I don't want them to see good in me, because then there's a potential for another friend, and then I have to think about how I'm going to fit this friend in, and I can't even, I'm just about able to be there for my current friends, and you know, if I'm too nice, then another guy will be interested. And I know that sounds silly, but it's just, I can't make everyone happy. I think I'm just tired of performing. Yeah, about like the whole degree thing and all of that. When I want to do something, like really want to do something with all of my heart, I just don't think I can do something because maybe it's just the Aquarius part in me, but like I don't think I can do things just because, or just because someone said so, oh, because the boss said so. I mean, not that I wouldn't follow orders at work, but I will wonder why. If it's a stupid idea, I'm gonna be like, why? I want to understand the thinking behind it. If it makes sense, then sure. And it doesn't mean at the end of it, maybe this is not making me sound very great. If I have to, I will do something. If I've been told it's fine. I'm not a prick like that. But, you know, I generally, I guess, in life, if people are like, oh, you should just accept this. Yeah, but why? I don't think I can just, oh, get married. But yeah, but for what reason? I don't, like, there are just certain things I cannot compute. And I've been told I'm stubborn at times. One of my flaws. I can be stubborn in a really good way, but I can also be stubborn in a way that doesn't. People are like, seriously? Yeah. Take some convincing. Got a bit of fixed sign energy in me. Sorry. I don't know. I feel like, I'm gonna wrap this up, but I feel like it's crunch time. I feel like I want to grow, and I have to grow. And there's a life that I want to live, and my parents even say it. My mom will be like, Mahika, you're in your 20s, you should be out, you should be socializing. I'm like, lady, I'm broke and I'm in debt, but that's cute. And if I socialized the way I wanted to, we would be fighting every day. I don't think that'd be good for anyone. So, yeah. She's like, you know, you should be out. And I also would like to be a little bit more out. Now, finances are a big part of it. The other thing is, I'm building. Like, I really thought about it last night, how I just wanted to lie in bed and watch a Netflix movie or something. And it crossed my mind, I was like, and be like everyone else. Nothing wrong with watching a Netflix movie, but I really thought, I look at the general, like the overall of the people that I see or know, right? No, this is not close people, like just like some colleagues and stuff like that. And this is not criticizing how they live. This is just their choice. But wake up, do some chores or whatever, come to work, disheveled appearance. It's fine. Everyone's got their life, right? That's how that's a choice as well, right? To not put any effort in at all. Eat the canteen food. I just got a notification on my phone. Eat the canteen food. Do the bare minimum. Watch a show or like some random trash during their break on their phone, and then back to work, and then come home, crash Netflix, maybe go drinking on the weekend, repeat. And that's their life. And maybe they're happy with it. And I thought about it for a second. I was like, could I just, you know, what if I just stopped? Like, what if I just stopped my gym? What am I doing all this for? Like, what if I just stopped putting all this pressure on myself? I'd be so bored. I'd be so bored. I don't think I can. And so I was like, okay, then we're here. Then this is where we are. This is where we are. You know, and I'm in all this debt. I could just say, okay, Mahika, let's go full time. Live like everybody else. You know, quit putting so much effort into everything. You know, get ourselves out of debt the normal way by like saving and paying it off like that. Or, you know, not trying to re-strategize something or create another income. So, like, you know, just do things slow and, you know, maybe I could, like, what? No. I'm too far gone on the thing of insanity. So yeah. But what I mean is it's crunch time, because I have been dealing with certain things for a little too long, and it's also not fair to my parents for me to, as I grow older, I only become more aware of who I want to be. And, you know, even if it comes to me slowly, I realize that I'm probably just going to stay disruptive. I'm going to stay me. And I don't feel like it's fair for me to, you know, I feel like it's fair to constantly put my parents in a position of stress. So if I'm going to be wild or whatever, you know, just do it on my own turf. It also gives me space to explore. I think I've internalized a lot as well. Things that have been said, and I wish I was recovered from them. I really wish I was. I wish I could not care. I really do. I've tried so hard. I've tried disproving it, you know, but it's very hard when you haven't made it yet to not believe the things that have been said about you, even if they were said in anger. So I just every day wake up kind of feeling like I'm the worst of what's been said about me, and that's really hard to wake up with every day. About the love thing that I mentioned, grief, I guess, grief. When I say all this, I just want you to know I'm not trying to get pity. I'm just trying to express myself, and someone might relate. My ex, one ex, dated a few people, but only been with one person because I learned my lesson hard. Don't settle down with someone that you wouldn't want to be with for life, right? Especially if you're a Venus and Scorpio. If they're not the one, don't play pretend. But I meant it when I said that I would look out for him forever. You know, I really, when he said those words to me, and I meant it on a human level, on a soul level. And even if we're not like best buddies, not that we would be after a breakup, right? But just as like we check in every couple years or something, you know, I meant it. He didn't. He was a stupid boy. And I've spoken on this before, there's so much I'll be grateful for, etc, etc. But yeah, it really, when you vow something like that, to me, I vowed it to God. Now I have to take it back from my own sanity, right? But I meant it. Similarly, someone I considered a best friend, again, I don't hate her. I don't hate people like that. It was the best friend whose brother I had a thing with. Now I know that sounds bad off the bat, but there's more to it, and it's on my page, and like her changing her mind about how she felt about it and all of that, and having her be so okay with losing me, you know? I have to obviously remember there's more to, you know, I will never know the full story of what's going on in someone's life, especially if they haven't even spoken about it. So I try and hold it with understanding, and trust God. You know, I really do not know what I could have done differently. I really do not know what I could have. Sorry, it cut out. But the really obvious thing could just be, I just don't have interactions with a brother. And yeah, okay, sure. But there's more to it. And so, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, forgot what I was saying, but that feeling exhausted from loving people and meaning it and wanting to work through things, and other people just checking out, and it feels like they're weak, you know? I'm like, what do you... Sorry, I don't understand. And I'm like, am I just a fool, or do I just genuinely love so deeply on like a soul level? I don't understand. Like, how do people mean it when they say I love you? And then they're gone. Like, I don't. No, you fucking don't. Are you dumb? Don't say things you don't mean. I don't get it. I don't. Anyway, there was another thing. I forgot it. I don't know, something about, I guess, exhaustion. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I need to go. But apathy. It was apathy I forgot to mention. You know how some people, when they're depressed, they stay in bed? I will procrastinate, stay in bed, and then eventually remember I can get out and do things bit by bit. And so I never seem depressed. I never seem that bad. Apathy. It's a deep, like, I don't really give a fuck. How do you explain that to Asian parents? They would just say, what do you mean you don't give? It's such a privilege, da 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 da. And you're not wrong. Sure. But it's just when you know that you're capable of more. To wake up every day and spend time doing things that don't contribute to the world, really. It's soul-sucking. And I've tried to tell myself, you don't know who you're helping. Your teammates, this, that, the other. But I know this is not what I'm meant to be doing for myself. I can't do it. I don't want to go. Right now, oh God, if I don't, my parents watch me on Life 360, it would just cause conflict. My dad grabbed my arm this morning. He was like, I don't want my kids being late. That's very fair. I just want to jump in and say something important as editing me. I'm leaving that in because it paints a picture of the pressure that I was feeling, and it's something that somebody else might relate to. Being in an Asian household, being in a more strict or immigrant parent household. That is why I leave it in. I do need to communicate, however, because this is so important. So I ask that you practice emotional intelligence. When I say this and when you hear this, I am going to be telling a story from my point of view. It does not encapsulate the entirety of a person. Yes, this is me defending my dad. I will, because he's my father and I know him better than any viewer could. But I leave it in because, again, I'm trying to paint the picture and it's tricky to edit. I did speak with him, and there was a reason for his reaction when he saw me leaving late. And when I say grab my arm, he grabbed it like this. There was no violence or, I was still not happy about it. I'm sorry if you can hear my computer fan. I did tell him I didn't like it and I didn't appreciate it. So that boundary, was made very clear, that he might feel a certain way, obviously, but that doesn't give him the right to, physically do something that could cause me pain, obviously. And his intention is never to cause that. He's not that. So I just really want to be clear before anyone hop, skips, jumps, especially somebody who's grown up in the West, and decides to view things as black and white. Things are not black and white. People are imperfect. People are unlearning ways of being. People do not always know and do not always articulate themselves perfectly, myself included. And I'm sure you yourself are not perfect. And I really do need to come here and say this, because I don't want to leave that just there and have people thinking that, oh my god, my dad's this or my parents are that. You will, you know, and I say this with most respect to you as a viewer. Oh god, the fan, I'm really sorry. Let me put that there. It's a rubbish angle, but I say this with the most respect to you as a viewer, but you couldn't possibly know my family the way that I know my family. So truly, I leave it in, partially because it's bloody difficult to edit out, but I think it's also a detail that is important to painting the picture of everything that I was feeling at that time. The reason, actually, to give you background, I hope you're patient enough to hear me. If you've watched this far, then hopefully you are. The reason that my dad had that reaction was because of his father. And before you go assuming things, he shared with me a story. It was like the next day or something. He sat me down and he told me the story of how his father came over here in the 60s and built everything. How he worked 3 jobs. And I won't go into it because it's not my story to tell. But my grandfather had a very tough time coming here to the UK in the 60s. And my father's expression of anger in that moment was because, I suppose, of the mismatch, you know, knowing how hard his father worked, everything he sacrificed, everything he went through, and then everything that my dad went through, and then seeing me be late for work. It was only natural for him to be annoyed, you know. I think any good parent, I'm not saying this to, you know, be like, oh, it's still okay that my dad reacted the way he did, no. But any parent who wants their child to grow up to be a decent human being would be annoyed. Especially if they are a parent who has seen their own parent struggle for the things that their child takes for granted. So, I leave that in so that you can understand the strain I was feeling. But I ask that if you are a viewer of mine, you can practice emotional intelligence and understand, I don't know why my nose is clicking, and understand how many things can be true at the same time. People are people, and you can meet people midway, and everybody expresses their emotions differently, and sometimes it doesn't always come out right. And to be clear, in case anyone needs it spelled out for them, hopefully this is not the majority, my father is not a violent man. I hate that I have to say that, but I do need to say it, given what I'm leaving in the video, and because of the PC nature of the world today. Yeah, that is very much not the case. He is the complete opposite. However it may seem from what you might possibly infer from this. I feel like I should just come and quite honestly say he is the best. And anyone who knows him knows that. So, yeah, it's scary for me to leave that in, but I'm trusting people to have sense and not read into it, because there's no need to. Thank you guys. I don't want my kids being late for work. I understand. Give me something to live for then. Give me something to work for, because this isn't it. What if I get there and I can't stop crying?
crying. Fake, 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 fake. That being said, I don't ever regret breaking up with my ex. And whilst my lifestyle hasn't come without its own share of heartache, I've thoroughly enjoyed it and I've never been happier. I feel so much better since I fucked up my degree, because that was never meant for me. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh, I could have done this, I should have, but I wasn't in it. I didn't care. There were parts of it, sure, but that was it. There were parts of my ex that I loved, but that was it. And here I've been trying to force myself. Even working with my trainer, like, there were certain things that I just I was trying to make it work, and stopping working with her is great. It's great. It's saving us both time and energy. And I've been trying to force myself to be happy at home. I'm miserable, and I'm realizing I think I'd rather be a little poor and live life on my own terms than deal whatever the fuck this is. Like, I'm already poor as it is. And the one thing keeping me here is, discounted flights. Okay, but you're assuming that you could not afford to fly otherwise. What if you had an abundance mindset? What if you said the right things would find me and I would be able to afford to travel comfortably wherever I wanted, however I wanted? Maybe not straight away. And you're saying, okay, everything's gonna go wrong, but what if everything went right? That thought that says everything going wrong, who is that? Is that you? No. And I feel like I'm sat here with all this truth right now, and I have to go to this goddamn place and mask again and pretend that everything's fine. I'm 25. I've had enough. I've had enough. I've literally had enough. 10 years of this. Like, imagine, like, 10 more years. Next thing my parents are gonna be like, when are you having kids? When is it gonna stop? And the thing is, I live there right now. So I need to keep a cool mind. I need to be strategic. I don't want to be messy. Messier than I've already been. I'm not trying to burn bridges. Let's just do this one at a time, one thing at a time. I can do this. Just get through today. Just get through today. You look pretty. But yeah, I think I'm gonna quit in the next month or by the end of September. I'm done. I need to go, but just crunch time, you know. I think like I'm trying to figure out 5,000 things at the same time. It's a lot. And then I have to be at this fucking place every day, which is my day job, which is fine-ish. Not really, it's sucking the soul out of me. It's a dead-end job. It's a dead-end job, and I put myself in that position because my dad saw it, and he was like, hey, why don't you go for this? And in many ways, it has expanded my world, but at the same time, I have never felt so suffocated before. Ugh. No, you know what? That's a lie. I have felt suffocated, but I feel like it's the same fucking pattern that I've been following since I was 17, and it has only gone worse. I hate it. I don't know what it feels like to wake up and feel like, hey, I can express myself without fear of, like, people saying shit and me being a massive disappointment. Ugh. It's so bizarre, but it's like, I got a compliment the other day which meant so much to me. Someone said to me, I love how you are. I didn't realize how much that can mean. She said, I love how you were just so, what was it, like,
unashamedly or something yourself. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be that. And I see it, like, people like me for me, people enjoy me for me, and then the spaces I operate in, I feel like I'm punished for being me. I feel like I'm punished for being myself. Things that come authentically, my natural strengths, are considered stupid or trivial or meaningless. I'm exhausted from having to explain myself. In customer service, you get it as well. You have to show up and you have to be kind all the time. And it's like, okay, of course I would be kind. I wouldn't be an asshole. But, and I feel like I'm losing my mind. And there are people that are just so simply positive, and people that are happy in their lives, you know, like that they're just happy, and I'm like, okay, I can have mindset shit. Can I mindset this more? Like, maybe I just need to be more grateful. Maybe I just need to, you know, be more present. And don't get me wrong, these things help. Like, I get to go to work. Like, it is so helpful in so many ways. Like, I get to talk to people. I get to move. I get to stand here and talk. I mean, that is huge. I get to has gotten me through so much. But how much I get doing, are you gonna do? Like, it doesn't change. It doesn't change the fact that you feel like you're not getting what you need. I want to wake up and look forward to things. Is that ridiculous? I want to look forward to my life. For so long, it has just been do this to make mom and dad proud, or keep your mouth shut so XYZ doesn't happen. What is it like to wake up and actually be like, hey, you know, I'm building the dream. I'm living the dream. You know, and you know, this whole thing of how you do one thing is how you do everything can be such bullshit. It can come from people that are like, they've not experienced like this. Where you're hanging in there and you're holding on. But it's like, I'm capable of suffering. I'm capable of putting myself through difficult shit. I will fine-tune every single fucking detail. I will. I've seen it in myself. If you don't believe me, look at the cakes I bake. Okay? I will spend 3 days making it fine as fuck. When I really want to, I will. But I think it's just doing this, suffering and like putting yourself through hell for something that you don't even align with. When you don't even see the why, you kind of buy into the why. Like, you sure respect it for somebody else, but it's like, I cannot be that for you. I am not that. Maybe I'm too much of a fucking honest jerk in this sense. Ugh. So diluted. And I think when you've had to squash yourself so much, or you just start to like go out and be yourself, and then the world is like, nope, too much. Nope, you're gonna lose your job if you express yourself. Like, and when I say express, like, I mean just even having like a fucking earring. Like, I won't do it. It's fine. Got you. But at the like, I'll be respectful. But at the same time, I want to wear the fucking earring. I want my hair to be purple right now. And this is just obviously a very stupid analogy, but life is too fucking short. You know, this is the thing. That's what I live for. That understanding. That's what I live for. And every day, it hurts. It hurts. And I can't say anything. I can't say anything about it because I put myself here. And if I say anything, then I'm just going to get that repeated to me. It's fine. Anyway. I want to build a life of meaning. You know, and And I was talking to my sister, and like she did a degree, but it was something she wanted to do. It was something that she cared about. It was vocational, you know. And now she puts the reps in, and her job is hard and tiring, right? But it's for something. See, that's the difference. That's the difference. If you wake up and you suffer for something, but it has a worthy cause, then it's different. If you're exhausted because you have been doing something that means everything to you, it's different. If this is a stepping stone to the bigger thing, then it makes sense. It's different. But if it's just wake up every day just so you can have a bit of money, yeah, it's a bit boring, but it's a job. Look, there's a privilege to that, and it's a job. It's a job that is huge. That is huge. I will not deny that. But then you get to a certain point where it's like, I'm in the same situation that I was in previously. When I was in my degree, it took me failing my degree for me to finally be on a path that was true to me. When I was in my relationship, it took me becoming somebody that was shameful. I cheated, and that was my wake-up call to be like, this is not right, and I left. And now I'm in something. What is it going to take for me to be like, hey, enough is enough, stop tolerating things? Even just I have this thing where it's like, it's gotta hurt, like, just make it work. I mean, it's an amazing skill to have this resilience, to try and view things positively, to try every single day to literally like make a very strong effort to not fucking call in sick. Like, I'm very proud that I try. But it doesn't change the fact that I am so fucking miserable. And then my mind gets poisoned because of it. And I wish it didn't. But like, I used to have a positivity. I feel like in 2024 I had a hope. I had a grit about me. Even 2025. But I've been so broken by things that have happened. And I don't know how to undo it. And I don't know how to not doubt myself like all the time. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what to do. I felt like I had a healthier mind. And now, like, I was at June's event and people are so positive and warm and excited. And I was like, I literally can't deal with this right now. Like, I was grateful to be there. I was like there for the notes, the hard stuff, the hard facts. But then the fluff, I was like, I can't right now. And I felt so sad. Like, where's the Mahika that was like on 3 hours of sleep and could still function and would make it happen and was so happy and grateful? Like, and then I look and I doubt myself. I'm like, how could I be a leader? Like, these people have so much integrity and goodness within them. And I'm like, I'm not cut out for this. How could I be a leader? How could people look up to me? I'm getting mentally unstable. Then I'm like, no, Mahika, everyone has hard seasons. Da, 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 da. I don't feel worthy of it. I feel like I believe the worst about so many people. And I try to tell myself, hey, it's kind of natural after what you've been through, and there is a lot you need to process. A lot. Evidently. Some of it I haven't even gotten into. Very childhood related. And very related to where I grew up. Certain things that myself and my family went through growing up and being in this area, and like, it fucks with your head. Racism as well, it fucks with your head. And so like, there are these people, and I'm sorry, sometimes I envy people, you know, who have never experienced that, because I'm like, you it's so easy for you to wake up and believe better. Not every single person. There are some people out there and you're like, God, you are so untraumatized, like, or not traumatized, and I love that for you. I am so happy for you. That's beautiful. Mwah. You know, and sometimes I see brown people and they've grown up with brown communities, and I'm like, great, you don't know any better. Good, you know what it feels like to like fit in. That's great, you know, and I'm so happy for them.
But that security, that feeling of safety, you know, like, I don't know. There's just a lot, as you can tell. I want to say, like, I just want to say, when I say all of this, like, I don't hate people, like, under it. I don't hate people. I think it's just, I haven't healed from what certain people have done and been. And you can't unsee things. Yeah. Anyway, we carry on. We are British after all. Now we carry on. I carry on because I refuse to give up, right? Which I made clear on this channel. Lord knows why. Lord knows why. I used to believe everything would just work out. Somewhere I'd like to think that's still true. But if it's not, then we may as well try and figure this shit out, right? At the very least, I can provide value in some shape or form. Somehow. I will find a way. I'm pretty cool like that. I will find a way. I will find a way to insert myself into a problem that needs to be solved. I can be a valid, good citizen. I can help people. I don't know how. Clearly. A lot of toxic shit up here right now. People that are like straightforward. That are just like, yeah, I gotta work, I'm saving up to get on the property ladder. Don't know where to go on holiday. I love that for you. I do. I want to hear all about it. People that are simple in their vision. I love that too. Bit of a mess, huh? Once I figure it out, then I can tell other people how they can figure it out. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just live in each moment and just do my best and make sure I'm not late to work. Ciao.